Okay, today is A12E. It's called literal equations. And it's called literal equations because there's really not a lot of numbers. It's more of letters. So it's more literal than anything. So the essential question for today is, how is solving literal equations the same and different from solving one variable equations? So if you look at this paper, okay, most of these have a lot of letters. I don't want you to get scared with the letters, okay? We're going to take it one at a time. So up here we're going to write down some notes that we remember. When you see multiplication, what do you do? What is the opposite of multiplication? Division. So when you see multiplication, I want you to divide. Okay, that's what you're going to do. When you see division, what do I want you to do? Multiply. The opposite of division is multiply. Okay, what about when you see addition? What do I want you to do? Subtract. I want you to subtract. Okay, and what if you see subtraction? Yes, I'm going to want you to add. Okay, and this is what we've been doing when we're solving. We're doing the opposite. Okay, that's called inverse operations. So we're doing the opposite. So we're going to do some like the ones that we have been doing. Okay, right here. If I solve for x, what is the 2 and the x doing? They're multiplying, okay? The 2 and the x, when they're together like that, they're multiplying. So we're going to divide. So divide both sides by 2. Easy. We've done this before, right? So x equals -3. What about here? What do you see happening to the x? What are they doing? They're adding. Right now they are adding, right? So what do I want you to do? I want you to subtract. Okay, so when you see addition, you're going to subtract. So now I have x equals 6. What about here? What do you see? Kevin, what do you see? What are these two doing right now? Division. These two are dividing. So what am I going to do? Multiply. If I see division, I'm going to multiply. So multiply both sides by 7 so that the 7 cancels, and then that leaves me with r equals -56. Okay, so that's how we do things when we have numbers in there. We're going to do the same thing, but now it's with letters. Okay, so if I go too fast, then you need to pause and rewind and go a little bit slower, because I'm going to go a little bit fast on these. Okay, if I am solving for w, that means I want w by itself right here. What is w and l doing? ¿Qué están haciendo? What are they doing? They're multiplying. When the letters are together, when they're stuck together, that's multiplying. So I'm going to divide by L on both sides. Divide. Because I want to get rid of it. Okay, you cancel it. And then, what do I do now? You're done. That's it. I'm done. My answer is W equals A divided by L. Done. You don't have to divide. You don't have to do anything. You're not even going to need Desmos today. Okay? The next one. If I'm solving for r, I want r by itself. Okay? What is the r doing with the p and the t? What are they doing? They're all multiplying because they're stuck together. Están pegadas. So if they are multiplying, then I'm going to divide by p and t. Divide by p and t. So that my p cancels, my t cancels. And you are done. That's it. So now I have r equals I divided by pt. Okay? You're going to have to do some of these by yourself in just a little bit, so make sure that you understand how we're doing these problems. Okay, number 3. I'm solving for c. What is the c doing? Subtracting s. So what am I going to do? Add. The opposite of subtract is to add s to both sides, so that the s cancels. Quiero que se cancele. So you're going to do the opposite, okay? So then that leaves me c by itself. C equals, let me write it again. C equals, what does this say? M plus s. So you're going to write m plus s. Done. That's it. Number 4, I want to solve for m. What is the m doing? It's dividing. What's the opposite of divide? Multiply. So I'm going to multiply both sides by the one that I want to get rid of, so v. I don't want to get rid of my m. I want to get rid of the v. So the v cancels. What does this say? V times d. That's just v d equals m. These are super easy. If you can see what's happening, you just do the opposite. All right, number 5. I'm solving for c. What is c doing? It's adding 273, right? So I need to get rid of 273, so I'm going to subtract 273 from both sides. Okay? But Ms. Mesa, I can't subtract those two. Then don't. Just leave it like that. That's k minus 273, so just write down k minus 273 equals c. Okay, number 6. What am I solving for? B. What is B doing? It's multiplying by a fraction. And I don't know if you remember that when you multiply by a fraction, you have to multiply by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 1/3 is 3. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. This one's probably the hardest one to understand. Okay, but when you see a fraction, you need to multiply by the reciprocal. So now I have 3 times v, that's 3v equals big B. Okay? Right here, I'm solving for r. That means I want the r by itself. What is the r doing? ¿Qué está haciendo? R. It's multiplying. The parentheses means multiplication, right? So what's the opposite of multiplying? Divide. So I'm going to divide by that whole thing. So parentheses t plus 6. Divide by parentheses t plus 6. So that it cancels. Okay, and you are done. Ya terminaste, that's it. So it's r, just bring it down. R equals v divide by t plus 6. Okay? You don't have to use decimals, just write it like that. Number 8. I want to solve for b. What is b doing? It's dividing, right? What's the opposite of divide? Multiply. So I'm going to multiply both sides. That little dot means to multiply if y'all didn't know. Multiply both sides by 2 minus L. And I'm putting it in parentheses because it has to stay together. 2 minus L. Okay, so keep it in parentheses so it stays together. And then these two cancel. So that leaves me b by itself equals p parentheses 2 minus L, because that means multiplication. Done. We're almost done, guys. 2 more. Number 9, I'm solving for m. What is m doing? It's dividing. So what's the opposite of divide? Multiply. I'm going to multiply both sides. Put parentheses here because the whole thing needs to be multiplied by 2. Okay? Because I'm trying to get rid of the 2. If you don't know what to multiply or divide by, it's the one that you're trying to get rid of. So I'm trying to get rid of that one. That's why I have to multiply both sides by that. So now that leaves me m equals, when I multiply these two, just put the 2 in the front. So it's 2 parentheses j plus 1. Okay? And you can just leave it like that. You don't have to distribute anything. And the last one, I'm solving for a. What is the a doing? What is the a and the b doing? They're multiplying. When they're together like that, cuando están pegados, that's multiplication. So I'm going to divide by b to get rid of the b on both sides. That gets rid of the b. That leaves me a by itself. That's what I wanted. A equals c plus d all over b. Okay? These are called one-step literal equations. You guys have to practice some of them by yourself now. If you have any questions, just raise your hand while you're working these problems out. There is a Schoology assignment. It's at the very bottom. It's called A.12E One-Step Literal Equations. Okay? When, let's say you don't finish today and you need to finish it this weekend or something, it's going to be in the calendar so you can remember. Second 6 weeks for today, it says Schoology assignment A12E. When it says Schoology assignment, that's it. That means it's in the front page. And there's also a video for it so you can rewatch it again. So you would go to the front page and it's at the bottom, A12E One-Step Literal Equations. So click on it and start working those problems.